single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Hi everyone, this is your girl Rosita Cooper. We're on Living Your Dreams with Rosita. Today I have the legendary Terry Moore with me. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me on.
You're so welcome. I'm glad to have you here. You know, yeah, it's always a pleasure to have you around. Me and you've been friends for years.
Yes. It's an honor. Absolutely. Thank you.
I really appreciate you being on here. Okay, so tell everyone how you actually got started in the music industry.
You know, I often tell people I got started in the music industry watching TV. I was at a crossroad in my life one day. I had just got fired from my first corporate job, and came home one day like, okay, what am I going to do? I knew I wanted to do something different, but I wasn't sure. And I was watching the American Music Awards one night, and Prince came on and performed, and he just looked like he was having a lot of fun. And I was like, wow, he's having a lot of fun, but he's getting paid to do that. That's what I want to do. I want to do something where I can have a lot of fun and get paid. I want to get into the music industry, and that was the start for me.
Exactly. So this is definitely fun.
It is. It definitely is fun.
Okay, so I know one time before when you was on my radio show, you were saying that basically how you got started was trying to get in there because of the non-experience, and you started asking people for interns and stuff. So tell them that amazing story, because that's an awesome story, and I know it's going to inspire a lot of people.
Well, thank you. You know, the thing about it, I didn't have any background in music when I decided to get into the field. And I had no idea. Only thing I did know is I used to get a magazine before I got into the industry called Mix, M-I-X magazine. And it was a magazine about recording studios. And I used to buy this magazine every month. So I guess this was my destiny, because when I first got into the music industry, I called up all these recording studios and asked them if I could work for free. And a lot of them just literally hung up on me. A lot of people laughed, a lot of people, but I did have one gentleman, a guy from Germany named Raf, who told me to come down, and on the spot he hired me to work every Sunday at this recording studio. And I got the opportunity to work with everybody from Yoko Ono to Brenda K. Starr, the legendary Roy Ayers, and even David Belafonte, Harry Belafonte's son.
Nice. So when you first started at the station, what exactly did they have you doing?
Man, they had me doing everything. I was cleaning out the toilet and going to get food and answering the phone, and you know, I literally every Sunday I would have to go there and open up the studios and then stay to Sunday night to 12 at night to close the studios. So I was there literally like 12 hours and not getting paid. Wow.
Okay, so tell them, I know about your I can't even pronounce it. You know, I get tired trying to pronounce it. You know what I'm talking about.
My CP? Cerebral Palsy.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, very good. Very good.
See, I can't get it out. I always, every time I try to say it, I can't. My mom's got to slur my words. She was like, pick up your tongue, girl, and talk.
Well, you could, from now on, you could just call it CP.
Okay, okay.
That's a lot of people. So I was actually born with cerebral palsy. I'm 55 now, but when I was born, my mother had the German measles, and that complicated the birth. And so my disability, when I'm sitting down, you really can't tell that I'm disabled. Even when I'm standing, you can't tell. It's only when I'm walking you notice that I'm. But I call it a blessing because it has taught me so much in life that I wouldn't trade it in for the world.
So did you get treated different at the studio because of that? That, you know, did they allow you to do the things that you were trying to do, that you had to do as your job on your own? Or was it a lot of people trying to help you and, you know, help you do what you were trying to do?
I had a lot of brothers, adopted brothers and sisters in the industry. Queen Latifah became my younger adopted sister, MC Light. Working in the studios, you know, I remember Brenda K. Starr, and she's the young lady that discovered Mariah Carey. And she's a huge Latino star now. So she's killing it on a Latin chart. But she gave me a lot of advice. I mean, we sat in the studio, me and Brenda K. Starr, and talked all night. And so, you know, no one treated me different, and that was a blessing as well.
Okay, so I know you said when you first started off, you was scrubbing the toilets and opening and closing and stuff. So how long was it when you was in the industry, at the studio, before you started actually working with the music?
Well, you know, it's funny enough that when I was in the studios, I actually produced one of my best friends at the time. He passed away, but he brought his younger brothers into the studio, and that was my first time actually producing a record.
Nice.
And I was at the studio for probably almost a year before I went on to my next music venture, where I really started working a lot with artists.
Nice. So right now, I know that, are you and MC Light still business partners? I know at one time y'all was business partners doing some things together.
Not at the moment. Well, we were business partners in a venture that I put together called LearnTheMusicBusiness.com. That website, which is still around today, started about maybe 15 years ago. And I actually called Light because the Learn the Music Business is artists and people in the industry giving advice. And I remember the night I called Light up and I said, hey, Light, I've got this idea. I want to interview you for this website I'm doing. And she said, well, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm going to do a website called Learn the Music Business, where artists and people in the industry are giving advice. And she said, yo, that's a dope idea. I want to be down with it. Okay. And so we were business partners.
Like what I'm doing now, where they come and tell the testimony and give the inspiring words, advice and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the thing about it, we were business partners for maybe about a good year and a year and a half. Yeah, so yeah, we did a lot together. Light is my girl.
Nice. Okay, so what do you have going on now?
Oh goodness! Right now, what I've got going on now is I've got 4 things. One thing is actually shut down because of COVID-19, but I used to do a lot of public speaking, and that business is sort of shut down because, you know, we're not really doing any speaking events. I'm working with First Priority Music. First Priority Music is a label out of Brooklyn. They were the company, the record label that gave me my first job at a record label. That was a label that MC Light was on, and a group called Audio 2 and Positive K was also on that label. And, you know, I came in as a publicist. And so I'm still working with First Priority Music on a few projects. We're working on a music tour. We're doing a movie. That's the second thing. The third thing, I'm still a music business consultant. So I still teach artists about the industry. And then I also launched about 6 months ago my Legal Shield business, because a lot of artists, a lot of people in the music industry don't have any type of attorney. So I started picking up that ball.
Exactly. So y'all need some advice and stuff from attorneys. It's always good to have an attorney around. So get with more so he can hook y'all up with that Legal Shield. So anything, contracts come up.
There you go. Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, so I know you got them plaques behind. You know I want the look to the you on your phone.
No, I'm actually on my laptop. So this one right here is this one right here. If you can see my hand, is the More Money soundtrack with Damon Wayans. This
Nice.
one here is Sinead O'Connor. I've also got this one down here, which is Self-Destruction. And then I come back over here, and this is a platinum for the More Money movie with Damon Wayans and Marlon Wayans.
Nice, nice. So you already know I'm gonna have to have you do something for me.
Okay, I got you. I got you. Absolutely, I got you.
Now, Terry Moore is an awesome, awesome guy. I actually had surgery. What was like 4 years ago. And was it 4 years ago? 4 or 5 years ago?
It might have been more than 4 years, but yeah, we've known each other for a while.
Yeah, it's 5 years ago. 5 years
Yeah.
ago. And he actually, since I didn't have family and stuff here, he came pick me up, took me to the hospital. And
Oh, yeah.
sat there, waited for the surgery to be over with and everything. So he's like family. You know, I really appreciate you.
Thank you. Definitely.
Yes. So, you know, on Living Your Dreams of Rosita, there's a testimonial part where you actually tell what happened to you in your life that made you almost want to give up and how you got past it. It don't just have to be in the music industry, but just period. What changed your life and how you got past.
Okay, so the story that comes to mind, I actually might post this on Facebook. But when I was in middle school, I had a crush on a young lady named Marisol. And Marisol had no idea that I existed. She didn't pay no attention to me, but I was just head over heels for this girl named Marisol. So one day, I'm walking into the school cafeteria, and I see Marisol sitting at the table. And instead of me paying attention to what I was doing, I was too busy looking at her, and I fell in the middle of the cafeteria.
Wow.
And literally, like, the whole cafeteria stopped. Everybody was talking. They stopped talking. They looked at me, and I quietly got up, and I walked back out, and I was just devastated. I was just like, my life was over. Like, oh, my goodness, not only did I fall in front of this girl, but I fell in front of the whole school pretty much.
Yeah.
And when I got home that night, my father knew that something was bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked me what was wrong, and I told him what had happened. And he said to me, "Did you get up?" And I said, "Yeah, I got up." Thought it was kind of a weird question, but yeah, I got up. And he said, "That's the most important thing, that when you fell, you got up."
Exactly.
So, yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
Always keep getting up.
Exactly. So tell us about your parents. How was your mom?
Mom is down here in Georgia. She used to be a leasing agent at one of the biggest apartment complexes in Queens. Mm-hmm. My father's career was laying carpet. He used to lay him and his brother used to lay carpet and tile for almost 30 years in Brooklyn and Queens and Manhattan. My father still lives in New York. My mother's down here with me, and I'm an only child. So, you know, this whole, I say this, being an only child, I'm so used, so many people are not used to being home this long with the shutdown, but I'm used to it. I mean, I'm pretty much in my element because I'm so used to, being home, working, watching TV, except for when I used to go out to meetings and different events. But for the most part, I'm sort of an introvert, even though people don't think I'm an introvert. I'm an extrovert when I'm outside. Yeah. I'm an introvert when I'm inside.
Exactly. I'm the same way. I love being at the house. I love my me time. It's good to love yourself.
Right.
Love spending time with yourself.
Just enjoying enjoying life.
Exactly.
Right. Just enjoying life. Exactly. Yes.
Okay, so I know you have a son. Is that your
Yes.
only child?
My only son, yep, is 22 years old. He'll be 23 this year.
Okay.
Yes, and he's getting ready to buy his first house, so I'm super proud of him. And he's, you know, he's working and making moves. He's finished 4 years at college. He's getting ready to go back. And, you know, one of the things that I think is one of the biggest myths with being disabled is they wonder, you know, if by me having a son, first of all, being disabled, the myth is also, can he have a son? Can he, you know, have kids? Yes, I can. And the other question is my son disabled? No, he's not. He's fully able-bodied. So that's another myth too that's normally broken.
Okay, so do he dip and dab in the music? He does.
He actually does. Yeah, he does. He's a producer himself.
Nice.
And you know, he doesn't come to Dad for advice. Not all the time. Sometimes when it comes to music, once in a while he'll ask me a question, but he's doing his own thing. He's got his own recording studio and everything.
Okay, so I know he's been with you ever since I met you, right? So how long you had him? You had him since he was a baby, or you got him at a certain age?
No. Born into me and his mom was married at one time, and so we had them together, and you know, grew up together, and you know, he was born in Georgia. So me and his mom is from New York. And he was born in Georgia, so yeah, he's doing his thing, and I've known, you know, that's my son from the time he was born to 22 and stuff, and holding him in the hospital, and you know, and yeah.
Nice, that's awesome. So that just goes to show you have did an awesome job. You know,
Thank you.
At
Thank you.
23, buying his first house. I remember at 26, I bought my first house. So this is awesome.
Yeah.
That means the parents have actually done something. You know?
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. There's so many 40 and 50 years old still staying at home with their mama, you know.
Exactly. Oh, let me tell you, when he was going to school, you know, I told him, like, hey, you know, you can come stay with me while you're in school. He does not want to stay with me or Mom. Mom is
good. That is awesome.
Mom is about 15 minutes from me, and I'm in Lawrenceville. Mom is in Duluth, but he's not trying to come and stay with us. He's like, nah, I'm not staying with either one of y'all.
That is awesome. That means you did your job, because I know, now I go visit my mom, but after like a few days, I be want to come home.
Yeah, same thing here. Same thing here.
Better when I'm not there. You know
right, exactly. I'm the same way.
But, you know, shoot, 2 grown women in the house ain't gonna work. So
right, exactly. Yes, exactly.
Okay, so I would like for you to give them some inspiring words.
The inspiring word that I can leave people with is basically, life is not meant to be easy. It is a journey. If it was easy, then I think we'd get pretty bored with it. But the challenges that we face in life, it builds us as people, who we are. And also the challenges that we have allows us to be able to teach our kids and our siblings that are younger than us how to build character. So, you know, I tell everybody, enjoy the journey, embrace it. And when you run into a situation or a problem, think back and you're like, you know what, I've been in something like this before. Problems are just stuff that recycles. Mm-hmm. If you look back at it, you're like, wow, you know, I dealt with this before a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. And you have to think about how you got through that. So problems are just, you know, recycle issues, and don't focus so much on the problem, focus on the solution.
Exactly. And like I tell people all the time, everything that happened in your life is actually setting you up for your future of who you're supposed to be. Even relationships, good relationship, bad relationship, you learn something from it, and it's making you grow into the person you're supposed to be when you meet the person that exactly meets.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's how life goes, period. You know, jobs
exactly.
and
You know what, and I agree with that 100% because for the most part, majority of my ex-girlfriends, even going all the way back to junior high school, excuse me, I'm friends with my ex-girlfriend going all the way back to junior high school. In fact, I'm the godfather to my ex-daughter from junior high school. So I'm her god. I'm my, if I can say this right, a girl that I dated in junior high school, she made me the godfather to her daughter.
Yes.
And we're still friends today. So yeah, I'm still friends with my ex. Yeah.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's an awesome thing. You see, that shows the growth that
Right.
a lot of people don't realize that just because a relationship doesn't work doesn't mean that you can't be friends with them. You know,
right.
You agree to disagree, and you move on. Because you keep all that anger, bitterness, clogged up and stuff inside of you, and you can't treat the next person right because you focus on what happened. And I had to do that myself because I was mad at my ex for a long time. Still kind of mad, but that's probably why I'm still single. But the thing is, you gotta forgive and forget. You know, and if you stop focusing on being mad, then you can focus on being happy.
Right, exactly, because my philosophy is the problems and the relationship that I had in the past, the person that I'm with now, they don't deserve what happened in the last relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there anything that you want to add to this?
No, just have everybody Google me, reach out to me. I'm easy to find on social media. Go to TMOORER.com. If you want to contact me about the legal services, go to terrymore.com if you want to learn more about learnthemusicbusiness.com.
Yes. And he's on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn.
Yeah, all that good stuff. Just Google me.
Exactly. Google him. Exactly. Terry, thank you so much for being on our show. I really appreciate you. I love you to death. You know that.
I love you too. And hopefully, you know, even with COVID-19, we can get together even with our mask on and hang out.
Exactly.
All right.
If they doing all the protesting and stuff and ain't nobody really get sick there, you know, shoot, we all right.
Right. We all right. So I'm going to hold you to that. You let me know when you're ready.
Exactly. But
all right, sounds good.
So much. I really appreciate you. And everyone, y'all have been watching Living Your Dreams with Rosita Cooper and the legendary Terry Moore. And remember that no one in that to stop you from following your dreams. Peace and love and peace and blessings. Peace.